say that like that.
Hey,
Please.
man, hey, I'm a Ninja Turtles fan, okay? I will ooze wherever I like.
This one drink that's not even bad, you won't drink. And I'm confused. I am in anger.
Good for you guys. I don't watch a lot of movies. I go outside. Okay?
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Too Many Words podcast. I am your host, Isaac William Joseph. Across the way from me is my co-host and best friend, Jordan Van Cleve. Jordan, how you doing?
I've been better.
Awesome. So, this is episode 132. Man, isn't that crazy? 132 times in a row. Man, I can't imagine doing anything else 132 times in a row besides sleep and poop and eat. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you are tuning in, you know what you read in the title. You know what you saw in the thumbnail. This is the first time in a long time an MCU movie review. This is Captain America.
I didn't mean to do that. I swear.
Man, I was on a roll.
I didn't mean to do that. I swear.
This is Captain America, Brave New World, starring Anthony Mackie. Who is this directed by?
Anthony Mackie.
Okay.
No, that's not true.
So we've been in a lot of discussions about how we want to format and structure movie review episodes. You know, make them just a little bit different than your average episode where we talk about basically everything else, and honor the movie review just a little bit more. Make the movie review episodes a little bit shorter, more concise, and straight into why you clicked on this episode. So we are skipping announcements until the end of the episode, especially if you're new. I recommend sticking around and seeing what we're about. But this is really special times. We're making this push and we're making this change because of how successful the Brazilians love us. You know? I mean, they love us and they not so much. They kind of just watch us maybe because we're stupid and we didn't know that.
Stupid Americans. That's what we are.
We'll explain later in announcements of what happened in the last movie review. But the last movie review is I'm Still Here movie review. Go check that out if you've seen the movie. And that really popped off. And I think a part of that is it definitely hit its target demographic. But also it was kept under an hour. And I think a solid 54 minutes is pretty nice for a movie review, you know? And so we're going to get straight into it. Jordan, say something funny.
Isaac doesn't know how washing hands works.
That's not funny. Julius Ona. I don't really know Julius Ona and his work very much, but he directed Captain America, Brave New World. Also, Despacito was in this movie. I thought he was going to have like
Not Despacito. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo.
There was a
Esposito.
there was a Despacito that was like a producer or something in the movie, but like
Wait. Say his name again.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, okay. I threw a D in there for some reason.
Yeah, well, like I said, there was a Despacito.
Yeah, like
it was
a Louis.
in the credits. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The Captain America Brave New World was written by Gene Colan and Malcolm Spellman. All right. With the help of Ona and Musson. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Starring, of course, Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford as the main guys in this thing. And Jordan, how was your theater experience?
It was good. except for the fact I was sick.
Nice.
Still am.
It's always exciting to see mainstream movies every once in a while. We review movies at the Fleur to honor the independent side of things, but it was just a tall glass of refreshing water to finally review an MCU movie for the first time in over a year, and I was really excited about it all. Being back at Cinemark, there needs to be an AMC in Des Moines, by the way. I will not shut up about that until they put one back. Just saying. But my theater experience could have been better. I got this popcorn bucket. You could say it's pretty cool. There's a few design flaws on it, but ever since I could actually make the lid go on, I've been more okay with it. But yeah, this little thing is kind of cute. It's a bucket with the Captain America shield for a lid, and then the wing pack, as Jordan calls it, that extendo outwards on it as well, and it doubles as a drinkable object. It's like a cup, but it's not in the shape of a cup. You catching my drift. So yeah, there's like a ton of complications with that, and just sitting comfortably trying to use it, and so I was really struggling with that in the first 20 minutes of the movie. What's Sime doing? Slightly off camera. What's up?
I'm just vibing.
You're just vibing.
Show him your cup.
Now this Captain America cup is worth every single penny you put onto it, because this cup, I have a feeling it will last as long as I take care of it. Like, this is like, it's a cover. Ooh, you could like take it off, but I probably won't. I probably won't take it off. I mean, if I want to clean it, maybe. But yeah, this is a very special cup. It's like a rubber case on it, and it's really nice. And also shield as a lid, But yeah, movie experience, theater experience, overall, pretty well. Once I got over the fact that there was soda all over my ass because the popcorn bucket with the soda attachment kept falling over. Oh, Isaac, why'd you get two different sodas? One was for Tyrion, okay? I brought Tyrion. It was our first MCU movie together. It was amazing. Anyways, Jordan, kicking things off. What are some things that we didn't pitch the movie? What's the concept of the movie?
This is not the best for me. I want you to understand that.
It's okay.
So,
Want me to do it?
yeah.
Okay. So, as we all know, Falcon has become Captain America. Anybody who watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show, it's a quick series. I think it's like 6 episodes, right? Anybody who tuned into that got all the fillings in for any plot points that, it was the bridge between the last Captain America movie and this Captain America movie. If you missed out on the TV show or even missed out on Endgame, you probably come into this movie super confused. Why is the Falcon Captain America now? But yeah, it's General Ross has just been elected president, and there's this huge fiasco because this guy named Kern was promised a pardon from prison had he become president, and he was not actually pardoned once he became president, and a bunch of stuff gets started because of him. That's my spoiler-free preface. There's not really too much to spoil in this movie, but I'll explain why when we get into further of the movie review. But Jordan, what are some parts you liked about this movie?
It was very colorful.
Very colorful.
There was a lot of different settings, and I think that was neat.
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't really any times where I felt like, oh, this is dragging on.
That is so true. The movie felt like it was an hour long. Do you catch my drift on that? Like, I don't know. It's a good thing and a bad thing, and I'll explain more in the bad parts of the review. But, they say it's like a rule to have something in your movie needs to happen that is unique to your movie. That's not to say come up with something 100% original, something that's never been done before. It's to say, how many other movies is going to have a man with mechanical wings use his wings to cut off the wings of an F-16? You know? Fighter jet. Now that's cool. All right. So there was a lot of action that was unique to this movie and this movie only. And I was really appreciative of that. There was this dogfight with the two Falcon guys and Captain America just flying around in the sky because, what is it, China or Japan? China, Japan, yes.
Japan.
Okay. Japan and America. It was so the bad guy in the movie. His name is Kern. I mean, does he have a first name stated in this movie?
Yeah.
What's his first name?
I think Thaddeus.
That's the president's first name.
Are you sure?
Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah, you're right.
But anyways, yeah, the bad guy, he's doing all this work to try to break this peace agreement between Japan and America because, they have the giant celestial being coming out of the middle of the ocean, and that's what this movie is really all about, is taking care of that and the discovery of adamantium. Now that's exciting because adamantium is the promise of X-Men coming into play eventually. That's what that told me, at least. What did you think?
What?
Them talking about adamantium in
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie.
I mean, so that was spoiled for me very early on.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't do it. This is why I don't listen.
That was like when they initially announced this movie, people were giving their own plot synopsises, and someone may or may not have leaked the actual plot synopsis.
Wow. See, you can't dig too deep. Like, it's one thing to be a Marvel fan, but like I think it's another thing to. This is something that is, I think, unique to only Marvel fans, which is they want to know literally as much as they can about the movie before the movie comes out. To me, that's just super silly, like just go in and be surprised. So, just them mentioning adamantium was just like a little gift for me, in my opinion. But yeah, you hanging in there, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I loved all of the Red Hulk parts. Like, really, call me a sucker for it, but like this was probably the first time in over a decade that we got real good Hulk action.
Yeah.
Maybe ever since Ragnarok. So that came out in 2018 then? First time since 2018 that we got some real awesome Hulk action. And just it was so excellent. With the thunderclaps and the super jumps and the throwing a helicopter at another helicopter type of stuff, It reminds me of that video game that I grew up with. It was just, I'm in love with it. It was an original Xbox video game, Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and you could just, it was almost like a sandbox mode with just how much you could go around terrorizing everything. And that's just, any movie that can remind me of my fond days of playing that game it's got a good rub on me, I'll tell you what. But, the very well choreographed, all the Red Hulk parts.
Yeah.
Like the very well choreographed combat throughout this entire movie, I'd like to think. So great job there. I do appreciate that there was a lot of different story arcs in this movie.
Yeah, there was.
And it also like put like a little bow tie, them explaining more from that 2008 Hulk movie, because like that's always been that thing that people have always been talking about. Like there was like a lot of payoffs and also a lot of continuations. Like I remember the meme of, are we gonna not address in any of these TV shows or movies the giant celestial that came out for the Eternals movie, you know? And it did a continuation of that. It's them discovering that and then talking about who's going to take it over, which is a great political approach for, you know, a Captain America political drama style movie. So I did appreciate that as well. Jordan, what are some parts that you didn't like about this movie?
I didn't like the leader's design.
The leader's design.
Yeah. That's the bad guy.
The
That's what his
green
name
guy?
is. Yeah, he's the leader.
Okay. I did not. Yeah, Kern.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not.
Stern.
Stern?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I just Googled it.
Really? Okay.
I know he
Bad
doesn't believe
guy.
it. It's right there.
Okay. All right. So you did not like his character design.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
It's too weird.
Too weird. I mean, we left him with a freaking dent in his head a decade and a half ago.
It was more like a growing mass. But
Yeah, that guy got injured.
yeah.
I did expect, I think a lot of people expected different character designs on that. Like a bigger head
Yeah.
instead of just like a melted in brain shaped scalp, you know? I did like the green eyes and the green complexion, but I definitely think that there were better ways to approach his design, because like once he just dressed up in civilian clothes, took that hoodie up, he just looked like some sort of edgy Reddit hacker, you know? So, yeah, you make a good point with that one. My gripe with this movie is that it struggled for me. It struggled to convince me that anything significant happened in this movie. And I say that on a simple plot basis because, I don't know, there was a lot of things to get excited about in the beginning of the movie where, you know, the president motions over to Captain America and says, I want to help. I want you to reform the Avengers, which is something super exciting, you know, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's Captain America forming the Avengers. We're going back to stage one and doing this all over again with new heroes, new people, new stories, and it's going to be super fun. But then that's not the direction that this movie in particular took at all. And it made me a little bit sad. But
Did you think it was?
I mean, that's what happens when you don't watch any trailers or anything like that. You know, I knew Red Hulk was in it. You know, I thought that was going to be a thing there. But, like, I legit thought we were going to be introduced to at least another hero in this movie.
We were. His sidekick. The new Falcon.
I mean, I guess, yeah, the new Falcon. That's, you know what? Yeah, that does make me a little bit happier. There is a new Falcon, but I just felt like there could have been higher stakes involved. Like, yes, you literally had the threat of a war starting between Japan and America, but that was like a concern that I don't think was like a focal point treated in the plot. I think they did a very good job building up for our care for Isaiah, the original black super soldier, the first black super soldier. Him getting arrested, it made you really care about him. And, if the entire movie was based on, it technically was, but I don't think it touched on it enough. If the entire movie, if their motivation was to get him out of jail, yes, they succeeded on that. But I just feel like there was a lot of avenues that the movie opened up on, but they almost didn't really pick a main plot, and we were watching like 3 subplots at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's just I just wanted a main thing to root for, and I just don't think that the movie pointed that out for me at all. At any point in this movie. Not to say that it was a bad movie. I think I had a good time. Especially, the lack of dragging on. Like, there's one big sin that you should probably avoid, which is me watching the clock feeling like this movie is just going on for far too much, But this movie was fun, It goes back to that good action in the movie. And storylines that I could understand and stuff like that. It's just nothing really stood at the front runner of why this story needed to be told. Could you give me any examples of why?
It's the politics of it.
Maybe it's because like this movie was so grounded. It was really grounded, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's always that tightrope that the MCU and all other superhero movies will always ride, which is the balance between grounded and just the super ridiculous lore that the comics gave us and trying to make a believable live action movie out of it. I think they were just a little bit too grounded with this one because
I think this was exactly what I wanted from this movie.
I mean, you are. This is like your genre for these superhero movies. You love the political thriller side of things.
I guess it wasn't really much of a political thriller. It's more like political drama, though.
Yeah, political drama. I do love the whole aspect. The message in this movie is incredible because it really is like if this movie stands for nothing else, it stands on this, which is. What's his civilian name?
Who?
Falcon. Or Captain America. Shoot. We're so bad at this. Anyways.
I've got brain fog, so.
It's the whole message in the whole movie is, it succeeds. It succeeds in you wanting to root for the new Captain America because he is discredited for not being Steve Rogers. And it's very blunt in the first act of the film. But
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson, and his whole obstacle is that he's not a super soldier, he's just a regular guy. The whole time I was like, he could just be a mixture of Captain America and Iron Man and Black Panther, where Black Panther was just an athlete in a suit. Sam Wilson's just an athlete in a suit. He's a normal human being otherwise. And this story shows the obstacles of, taking on a tall task of replacing Captain America while also being just a normal human being. I think it really sells home that arc, which is, I think, well done. It gets you to root for him. This movie legitimizes him as Captain America. I think so. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Like this is the guy that's like, okay, this is our Captain America now.
I mean, that was like the whole point of the other TV show, but yeah.
It was, but like, there's a severe amount of people who don't watch the TV shows. My mother
Those
included.
people are losers.
Well, I just said my mother included.
Yeah.
Did you see the text I sent you that was from my mom earlier today?
No.
She wait a second. Wait a second. She texts me, "How come they're calling Falcon Captain America?" She must have saw a trailer or something. I said, "Because he's Captain America." I'm so helpful, you know. But let's see. But yeah, my main point of my biggest point of what was bad about this movie is that it failed to seem significant
So
because I know the MCU is in the whole ball game of our movies is for a bigger story arc over a few years, you know. But like movies should serve the series as much as it serves itself. You know?
I think big things did happen in this movie. You just didn't see them.
Like what?
The new Accords.
I saw them. Well, I heard them because
Exactly. It was a political thing. It was not like
yeah, they're
an
at peace
action
with
sequence
Japan.
thing. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What, the Sokovia Accords?
No.
To hell with the Sokovia Accords?
The Accords for the Adamantium.
Which
The whole
were-
point that they were going to war for was because
Yes, because they like stole the adamantium from Japan, and Japan was like, "Hey, that's
didn't
kind
know,
of
but-
jerkish."
it was over this peace treaty accords, right?
Yeah, and they talked about those at the very end of the movie. That those are done. Those are good.
That they were good.
Those went
They were, the purpose they were serving was so that the adamantium could go to the entirety of the world rather than just be held by one individual person.
Yeah, that was not like a kaboom moment for me.
I think that was the kaboom moment.
All right.
That was the ultimate climax.
We all got our own versions of what a payoff is, but
I mean, payoffs can be different depending on the context.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but I don't know.
You wanted a big flashy thing.
No, I did not. It's just that you go to like the first Iron Man, and there's
Yeah.
a whole thing with that.
Okay.
You go to the first Captain America, and there's like maybe it's just because the movies are getting more complex in what they can do with them and where the stories are going. You know, they're not setting foundations anymore because they don't need to. They don't even need to put their freaking title of the movies on their posters anymore. You know,
They haven't done that in like a long time, homie.
I know.
Like there's like phase 1 movies that did that.
Really?
Yeah, this is called alternate posters.
I guess that's true. Yeah. But yeah, let's move on into the next segment of the movie review, which is
Like, I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think they set a lot of groundwork in this movie.
I think there was a lot like I said, there's a lot of plot points. There's a
Yeah.
lot. But it's just I don't think that there was any sort of obvious front running arc that we needed to pay attention to. Like at the very end, I whispered to you, why do I feel like almost nothing happened?
Because nothing really did happen, but like in the best possible way. That's what I said to you.
Mm-hmm. Explain why you said that.
Because like,
Oh yes, they avoided war. That's a good way. Yeah.
like, it was a fun, enjoyable movie
I agree.
that took place literally only over the course of like a few days,
Mm-hmm.
rather than some of those movies that takes place over weeks,
Mhm.
right? And like, I don't know. It wasn't no Endgame. It wasn't no Iron Man 3. It wasn't no Captain America 3. It was Captain America 4, the first of a new Captain America, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like the entire point was not anything big and flashy. It was to set groundwork, set pave new roads. Excuse me. And like with a little bit of fan service, such as Red Hulk, right?
I guess what I was looking for is something that they already took care of in the movie in the show series.
Like what?
It's more about the in the series. I love origin stories,
Yeah.
and this being, I don't know, one of the first Marvel movies where it's their first time as this hero, but it's not the origin story. I'll take that. I think they haven't done something like that since like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
But moving on to awards, Jordan, who had best acting in this movie?
That's a good question.
I think I know who it was.
You go first.
How old is Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford is in his 80s.
Because he's really making his age seem irrelevant in this movie, which is a good thing. They had him doing a lot with his emotional range in this movie. They had him stern. They had him panicked. They had him angry. They becoming a Hulk. Where's your direction there? He did a very good job bringing us into a believable General Ross. And this is the first adaptation with General Ross as a different actor, and Harrison Ford. It's always hard replacing an original casting, and Harrison Ford made that not matter at all in the slightest. Props to Anthony Mackie. I saw a video. I think I saw you send me this, of him talking about how great it is. He's like, for the first time in my career, I can say people are coming to see my movie. I've been a part of a lot of movies, but this one is mine, and that's really humbling. Where he's the lead he's the leading man for the first time ever, and so I cannot skip over the Best Acting Award without giving props to Anthony Mackie being a very convincing leading man. I found no problem with his performance. It was an amazing performance. He did a good job of us caring about him, And so props to Anthony Mackie, but Harrison Ford, a legend. He definitely takes the cake on this one, given the,
Part of me
the circumstances.
sees quite the opposite, actually. There's a lot of moments where I could tell he's old, and he's slowing down a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah. The speech, he kind of talked quite a bit slower, moved a bit slower.
I mean, it's also the character itself is old.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think it's gonna go to I don't know, probably I almost want to say Isaiah.
Dog, you make a damn good point. Because Isaiah is involved in my favorite scene, actually.
Yeah.
You want to find the actor's name for Isaiah?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Just type in cast. Good sir. Oh, no, there's a cast tab right there.
See, I don't normally do it this way.
Right there. Right.
Oh.
Yep. There you go. But yeah, what's his real name?
See, that's why I don't trust it. It says Seth Rollins. He's not in this movie.
He's not.
Carl Lumbly.
Carl Lumbly. Yeah, this guy did a really good job of us giving a crap about him. And maybe that also pairs in with the good writing around his character. But yeah, he was one of my favorite characters in this movie. It's very hard for me at least. I think for most movies. Now, Jordan, let me get you in on this one. I think for most movies, if something bad happens to someone in the first act, and we have not very well established that character, maybe it helps with the movie, the TV series.
It does.
It probably does. It 100% probably does. But whenever typically, whenever something bad happens to someone in the first act, I do not give a rip about that person. Not at all. But I'd like to say that a lot of the things that were done in this movie already in the beginning really helped me care about him in the when he got arrested, and that's why this is getting best scene. It's when he's running from the police and the armed forces, and Anthony Mackie stops him at the park. He says, "I don't want to go back in," and he says, "If you keep running, it'll be worse." And he just slowly begins to cry as he puts his hands behind his head. And that face of him starting to cry of, "Oh no, I got to go back." Because it's I don't know, I don't want to say it was quite obvious for the audience in general, but it was a little obvious to me that him shooting at the president was a little bit not his choice, you know?
Yeah.
Not his decision. Like, it makes no sense for him to go and do that. So, we either got to swerve or that was not his fault. And I was on the edge. I was on the side of it was not his fault. And you really feel for him in that scene, you know? So yeah, that's a damn good choice for who the best actor was, because his acting really, really helps me pick that as best scene, in my opinion. You got a best scene, sir?
The dogfight.
Yeah, dude, I also wrote that down as like a secondary. You know, we are always, almost always, on the same wavelength for some of these awards. You know?
It's amazing how often we don't see eye to eye with some things regarding like said movie.
Yeah. What's funny is, in the history of us reviewing movies, there's been times where we review the movie and the whole time I'll say it sucked, and the whole time you'll say it was great, and then we'll give it a similar rating, you know?
To me, a sucky movie is like below 60, below 50, dog. To me, that's a bad movie. Because, if you're grading it below that, it's got to be bad. But, if you're still giving it a 70, it can't be that bad.
I think I am a little bit generous with my 100 scores just because I know now. I mean, you probably know also just how hard it is to make a movie. Even on an indie scale, it is insane. Because it's a group project, you know? It's not just the director. It's a group project. And group projects are hard, but yeah, that dogfight where, bringing up the Falcon's wing, cutting off that fighter jet's wing.
See, here was the primary post.
I saw that. Yeah, I've seen that around. Yeah, it's really, really cool stuff. I mean, surfing with a missile, that's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool. So, yeah. Best shot in this movie.
Honestly, it's the one that they showed off in the very first trailer, where Red Hulk throws the shield into the ground. That was fucking awesome.
That was sick. For a second, I didn't think that Captain America was gonna die.
Yeah.
But it definitely set the tone of, oh my gosh, he might not make out of this in one piece kind of deal, you know?
Naked Sign.
So yeah, that was definitely a tone setter. I like that. I like that choice a lot, actually. For me, my favorite shot is a simple one. It's a quick one. It's probably got 2 or 3 seconds of runtime in this movie, which is that shot of Isaiah Bradley sitting in his cell, and his head is right where the sun is shining. And there's just that side profile shot of you see the window on the left side of the screen, his head on the bottom right side of the screen, and you just see the sunshine on him. And I think that's a very good shot, in my opinion. It's not a complicated shot. It's not a CGI shot. But it's just a simple, fundamental, really good shot. So I'm going to stick with that one. Jordan, what was the best line in this movie?
It's a really good question.
One good question every Thursday, every other Thursday.
Yeah.
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So, Bucky did not have a lot of time in this movie, but he does make an appearance.
I want to talk about that real quick before you say that.
Okay.
They redid that. Like, that whole scene with him was in the TV show.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that they could have done some... Wait a second. You think they just copied and pasted it lazily, or are they trying to do something deeper with that?
I think they were trying to put something that was in the TV show in the movie for the people that didn't watch the TV show.
Oh. I kind of feel bad now because my best line is from that scene. So technically not even from the movie.
Yeah. You know, almost the whole scene it is just ripped straight from the TV show. Like the part where he says, Steve chose wrong.
Wait. Can I share my favorite line first?
Sure, go for it.
Thank you. Gosh. The best line I heard in this movie, because like that's what I really try to keep track of while watching movies, because like I feel like that's the hardest one to remember. So I really try to keep note of what's good dialogue, you know. So for me, it's Bucky looking over at Sam and saying, "You're just a human trying your best. Steve gave the people something to believe in. You give the people something they can aspire to be." And I thought that was really special. Because that's the message, you know? Like that could be applicable to a bunch of kids watching the movie, a bunch of adults watching the movie. You know, we always have that, oh, I don't know if I can make it in the industry, but here's this normal guy being a superhero, has no powers. Maybe one day, if my heart's in the right place and my work ethic's in the right place, I can be where he's at. You know, that's super inspiring stuff. So go on, Jordan.
I did. Nice. What?
Go ahead and say what you were gonna say.
The part where he says Steve chose wrong, and like Bucky says why, and they do that. That was like in the show.
Okay. So. One second, folks. Please hold. Oh, God. I just saw something I did not want to see.
I need to wash my hands here in a minute. That's gonna be.
Do you know how washing hands works?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Jordan, score this movie out of 100.
82.
82? I think I'll give it a 72.
Okay.
Yeah. I loved the movie, but we're definitely going up from here for MCU movies. So excited about Fantastic Four. Oh my gosh. That's the movie of the year for me. Not in quality, but like in anticipation. Movie of the year for me.
It's gonna suck.
Hopefully not. But yeah, 72. Jordan, you want to do some math? So, if you've been listening for a while, you know that I do a heart score for my movies, and then I do a calculated score, which is rating out of 10 different categories for every movie that I review. It's between story, cinematography, writing, acting, pacing, message, score, sound, character, and personal feeling. And so we add all that up to see what is the concrete, nearly objective score out of 100. 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7.
80.
Oh, I was pretty off with that one.
That's your farthest off yet.
Yeah, 8 points off.
Wow.
Not bad.
What got a 6?
What got a 6? Story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did bitch about that. So.
Yeah. Writing got a 7. Pacing was wonderful. It got an 8. Message was even better. It got a 9. So, yeah. So let's move on to other segments. That has been our Captain America Brave New World movie review. Hopefully you liked it and will stay in tune for future movie reviews, especially for that Fantastic Four one coming later this year. But, yeet. Jordan, what segment do you want to do, sir?
What?
Let's do announcements. It is Sunday, February 16th, 10:01 p.m. And let's see. We got 2 big events that you should probably keep note of. One is a lot earlier than the other one. Too Many Burgers 3, September 18th. It's a weekday, so please mark it on your calendar to get the day off. That is our 3rd annual big event to celebrate podcasting for 3 entire years. So really special stuff. There's going to be food. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be a bunch of fun things. So stay tuned for that. Something that's coming very much earlier, and I hope you you show your face there. But tap into the live stream if you can't. March 2nd is us running it back at Fleur Cinema and Cafe to just do an Oscar party. The Red Carpet Gala is what they call it, and it's a great excuse to dress up nice. It's a great excuse to eat hors d'oeuvres, shove those in your face, and also watch daytime television, but on a movie theater-sized screen. And it's basically just pretending like you're at the Oscars. It's so fun, so cool. There's games to participate in, raffles to participate in, and just it's fun. It's fun. So we'd love to see you there. Any other announcements?
No.
Yes, no, maybe so. Rich Swan followed me on Instagram. I think that's cool.
Who's that?
He's a pro wrestler.
That's cool.
Yes, sir. But I don't think we have too many other announcements. I mean, Jordan, do you wanna admit what you told me the other week?
Huh?
How's What's New Wednesday doing?
What's New Wednesday will come out when it comes out.
What did you tell me though?
I don't remember.
So Jordan has become pretty busy with the Scaldstone gaming side of things, and he just does not have time to do What's New Wednesday. And you hate to see it, but he wants a more solid time in his free time to maybe dedicate that. But at this moment, he does not know when he can dedicate it. And when he makes that adjustment, he will be back to doing What's New Wednesday. It is not permanently abandoned, just temporarily abandoned, kind of like me with Unfadable. We're really just accountability buddies for this podcast, aren't we?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But, that's a thing. Love Pastor Debbie got a new logo. That's a thing. We're going to Planet Comic Con next month in March, and that's fun. But do we have any new Instagram followers, sir?
No.
I saw you check.
Nope.
No, sir. Go to Too Many Words Podcast, at Too Many Words Podcast on Instagram. Give us a follow so we can read your sweet, sweet name on our socials. And also, I want to address in the quickest fashion that I am so stupid. Because although we have the upside of getting 342 views as we speak on our last movie review for I'm Still Here, episode 130, we got a lot of comments. Why is it getting so much traction? Well, the Portuguese have discovered that we are idiots, but also can review a movie quite well. At least we can do something right, Jordan. But yeah, in high school, I took a Spanish class freshman year. And so I was trying to use a very old memory in my brain because something I knew was this. There's a lot of countries in South America that speak Spanish. Not all of them. And apparently I guessed wrong in thinking that Brazil speaks Spanish, and I said the word Brazilian Spanish in that movie review, and I've been clowned on in a few of these comments, and I will react to that humbly. Thank you for informing me. A lot of them were actually super polite. I think it might just be an American thing where people... Yeah. I think it might just be an American thing where people correct one another while being a dick about it. Because all these Portuguese people from Brazil who live in Rio were from the place that we talked about the movie in.
They're still Brazilian, Isaac. They just speak Portuguese.
Okay, so they themselves are not Portuguese, but they're Brazilian. Is that what you're saying? See, I got a lot to learn. I skipped geography when I was...
Obviously.
Oh, man,
You know,
but...
those poor Portuguese people living in Brazil.
But they have my many thanks and appreciation for correcting me without making me feel like a mindless, brainless piece of crap. And so we have definitely gotten some new subscribers since that movie. And I actually love them all. They're so fun. Comment as much as you want on our videos. That was good. That was really good. So, Jordan, where can they find us?
On Instagram, Too Many Words Podcast.
Yes, and you can also find Too Many Words Podcast, the Facebook page, Scalded Stone Productions, the Facebook page, and the YouTube channel. Find us there. We are also very vaguely on TikTok whenever I get around to making reels and shorts and just promos. There's always going to be promos every time I make one on there. So, Too Many Words Pod for that one. Jordan, do we do fancers?
Up to you, man. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll skip fancers. That's part of like the restructuring of these movie review podcast episodes is we're thinking about which segments we keep in for the movie reviews and which segments we keep out of the movie reviews. Man, we've been at 56 minutes anyways. I don't think we'll do the drink review. We'll save that for next week. Is that good?
I guess so, yeah.
I guess so, yeah. That means, wasn't part of the plan, but now it is. And I'm too sick to argue with Isaac. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do the drink review?
What?
You want to do the drink review? Good, because I'm not drinking after you. Good golly gee willikers, bro. Who or what do you dedicate this podcast episode out to, Jordan?
This podcast episode goes out to Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Why on earth is it Chris Rock?
Just cause.
Okay, good enough for me. This episode for me goes out to Anthony Mackie. He's gone a long way since being called Clarence and his parents having a real good marriage and stuff like that. It really spoke to me how much this movie meant to him.
Damn, my boy Falcon got kicked back to 8 Mile.
It shows how long he's been an actor. and how long he's just been a supporting actor. And you know, when I saw that video of how much this movie actually meant to him, it touched my heart. And so I know it's not much, Anthony Mackie, but this podcast episode goes out to you, brother. And I'm looking forward to you being Captain America in these following years and seeing where it goes for you. 1, 2, 3, amen.
Amen on 3.
1, 2, 3,
Amen.
amen.